All right, everybody, and welcome to another edition of From the Bottom Up. And today, this edition here is going to focus in on A Trick of the Tail by Genesis, which came out on February the 13th, 1976, peaked at number 31 in the US and went gold, released on Atco Records, produced by David Henschel and Genesis. Let's dig right into it. Um, Number 8 for the 8 tracks in total. For me, I've got Los Endos, and I don't know. I mean, did we really need an instrumental on this album, considering how the instrumental sections of these songs are so great as it is, anyways? I would have rather heard another song that kind of, you know, had some vocals and something a little different, because this song kind of takes some elements from some of the other songs and mixes it in. Now, don't get me wrong, the song has some excellent playing on it. It's something that I think would be more relegated to a live album and playing it live in a concert like that, like they do or did back in the day. But to be a song on an actual album, I think they could have done better just by releasing another song for sure. So that's my take on my number 8, Los Endos. Number 7, I've got Robbery, Assault, and Battery. It's an okay song, nothing to write home about. Um, you know, it's feels sounds good on it, singing, and but to me though, it just kind of on the it's okay type page there for that one. And that's going to take me down to my number 6, and that's going to be none other than Mad Mad Moon, which is a Tony Banks song that he wrote, one of two solo compositions by him on this album. And yeah, not a bad. This is a pretty good song. I actually like it. This is kind of where, from this moment all the way forward, you're going to see each song gets better and better and better, and it just really ends this album on a high note, the way we got it all going up here. So, Madman Moon is what I got at number 6. Number 5, I've got another Tony Banks, the other one that he did solo on here, solo written track, and that's A Trick of the Tail. The title track features a nice, lovely piano and goes into, just a nice, decent song. You didn't really hear it too much on, even on album rock radio, but it's definitely a song that deserves to be heard much more. I really like this one. This is definitely a solid song, and Banks did a great job on it. And that's going to take us to my number 4, which is Entangled, which is written by Steve Hackett and once again Tony Banks. They share the co-writing credit on it. And yeah, this is a really, really good song. I really enjoy this one. I thought Hackett's playing on this one was phenomenal. A nice vocal by Phil. And it's the second song on the album, but it leads, I think the album is going pretty good in sequence on this particular album, the way they got it all set up with the songs. So I've got mine at number 4, Entangled. 3 is going to take us to a Mike Rutherford staple with Tony Banks co-writing on him as well, none other than Ripples, which is just a phenomenal song. Just a great song. This one deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. It's such a great song. Phil's vocal impeccable, and definitely one of the standouts of the whole Genesis catalog. And that's going to take me to number 2, which is going to be Squonk. And that's another great song. And this is a song that when they weren't sure after Peter Gabriel left, they had the album all written and they still weren't sure who was going to be singing on it. And so they started to play it in the studio, and Phil just sang it just to have somebody up there to sing it to see how the song would sound with vocals. And he sounded so good, and right at home they decided to just let him become the lead singer, and they worked it all out, and it worked out to their favor for sure. And Squonk, great song. That's another one that is a great another standout here with Rutherford and Banks, and it's definitely a highlight of this album once again. And that's going to take us down to the top dog on this album. It's the lead-off track. It's Dance on a Volcano, which was written by all four members, Rutherford, Banks, Hackett, and Collins. And yeah, what a great song. What a great way to start the album off. This is a kind of album you just kind of put the needle down and leave it on. You don't skip any tracks. Um, right to the end pretty much, Los Endos ends it. And but Dance on a Volcano helped set the tone for the album. And it just really did a great job on for the at this point this was Genesis' best charting position here as far as the albums were concerned. In the UK, they hit number three with this one, and it hit 31 like I mentioned in the US, and that was 10 spots better than The Lamb, which at that point would have been the highest charting one in the US. And yeah, Trick of the Tail. At least, it went gold. Definitely a strong, solid overall album here. And this helped kind of set the tone of them to carry on after the departure of Peter Gabriel. So there you have it. A Trick of the Tail, a great classic album. Would love to hear your take on these songs. I know some people really enjoy the whole album, like myself, and then but they might not let, there's certain things. It's good to see what other people's opinions are on this one. And there you have it, Genesis, A Trick of the Tail from the bottom up.